Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Marcus Aquarius and today we are back in the world of Kenshi. Now this video is going to be a little bit different from my previous videos because this is actually video footage that I recorded while not being live in between episodes. In the last video I had mentioned that I wanted to take a little bit of time off stream in order to level up the Juggernauts so that way they would be ready to do a little bit more exploration and could stay out of trouble. However, while I was recording, so many cool things happened that I had to go ahead and make a video just so you'll be up to date on what happened in between videos. So let's get started. So here we are at the hub where we left off training. So while our guys were training, I decided to look around to see what factions were still left and to see who was hostile to us. Turns out that Denobi is still hostile. The Holy Nation Outlaws at this point are not hostile. So the Shinobi Thieves Guild, which are our only allies here, I decided to turn on heal allies. So just in case there was any Shinobi Thieves Guild members out there, you know, that needed help, but we didn't want them to die. After that, one of the Denobi turret guards attacked one of our players, so we had to of course take him out. From here, the vagrant Omegas that were at this bar I guess became hostile to us, so we had to take them out as well. Fortunately for us, they were the only ones hostile, and these mercenaries and drifters just pretty much stayed out of our way, which was great. So from here we just took out more Denobi members, basically wiped them out. And we had a few locked up for some reason. I don't know where they came from or why they were there, but apparently they were locked up. So we'll handle that later. Once we knocked all of those guys out, I decided to go ahead and start looting their inventory since most of them were already dead. There was no sense in leaving their gear, and they had some pretty good gear. Next I decided to get a few of my Juggernauts to do some corpse disposal to kind of clean up the dead bodies that were around. There were a lot. One thing to note, if you give one of your characters the job of corpse disposal, if you don't own the corpse disposal unit, your character is just going to grab a dead body and then stand there. You're going to have to manually direct them to the unit. At this point I decided, since we were doing a bunch of looting, that we needed more storage space, so I created a few more storage chests and began having our engineers create them, make them, and then from there our guys continued to pick up dead bodies. Another one of those Denobi turret guards attacked one of my Juggernauts, so we had to take him out as well. Unfortunately, we also knocked out one of the Shinobi Thieves Guild members, so we patched him up. Hopefully he won't be too angry when he awakes. We looted that guy and then went back to business as usual. We had our guys picking up corpses and we are completing our storage containers. Now, once the storage containers were completed, I went on ahead and we went through each and every Juggernaut's inventory, and we made sure that everything that they didn't need to have was put away into a storage container. I didn't really do a lot of organization, but I knew later on I was going to go and sell all of this stuff, majority of it anyway. This took a really long time, and after going through everyone's inventory, I thought I was finally done. And then I realized there was a completely different group of Juggernauts just standing over here by the main gate, and all of their inventories were still full. So instead of going through that work again, I decided to just have them go to the rebel base here so that they could just sell everything right away. I was running out of inventory space anyway. All of the equipment we were selling were either blue items or below, and any of the high grade items I had, I made sure to switch that around with the Juggernauts that I had here with us. By the way, if it sounds like I'm tired, it's currently 3:30 in the morning, and this is the only time I've been able to actually record some audio without a bunch of noise in the background. Once again, this is episode 24.5, a kind of in-between episode between the last live stream and the next. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell to be notified whenever I go live. After selling everything from their inventory and buying a few weapon recipes, I sent those guys home and decided that since it was nighttime and we pretty much have had our way with the hub, I thought it'd be a good idea to check out a few buildings to see if there was anything inside that would be useful to our cause. So the first place we checked out was a mechanic shop, which was ran by the Holy Nation Outlaws. So I checked a few containers first to see if there was anything good. I didn't try to take anything just yet. There really wasn't much there, but there were a few containers that were locked, and so I knew we needed to get past the shopkeeper. So I sent one of my best people in there to try to knock him out, and that failed. So looks like we got into a fight, and one fight turned into everyone coming in and pretty much stomping that guy to the ground. We looted him, and we may have taken his life as well, since he was crippled, and put him out of his misery. From there, the place was pretty much ours for the taking. So I went in, snagged everything that I could, had one of my other Juggernauts go and try to pick the safe. And of course, since that guy died, we had our little corpse disposal unit to come and take him away. There was actually 2 locked containers, and we were able to open one, but the other one was pretty tough, and our Juggernaut just couldn't get it open. So I decided to help her gain some skills by allowing her to pick all the locks in the local cages here, and pretty much just set everyone free. It didn't really matter what they were. We knew they couldn't fight us, so we just set them all free. And it took her about, I don't know, about maybe 10 or 15 minutes, but after which her lockpicking skills got up pretty high. Now, there was no one there to stop us. I don't know what happened to the shopkeeper or the person who was watching this place. Maybe he got taken out by Shanks or whatever, but it just made it more easier for us, so we could pretty much do whatever we wanted. By this time, we pretty much have taken over the hub. I wanted to know if there was any more hostile NPCs inside of this bar over here, and when we came inside, we found like Darth Maul or whatever knocked out. I guess he was a part of the Denobi faction, and there weren't any other hostile factions inside, so these were pretty cool. And you know, I pretty much liked that Darth Maul character. There were 2 of them, and I don't know where the other one is, but I decided to save this one, and I don't know what I'm gonna do with him just yet. And when I picked him up, it was weird because Zoro just came out of nowhere and healed him, so I didn't have to waste any of my med kits. And there was this guy there that had some beef, but no one really cared. I then remembered that I had these guys locked up on my prisoner poles for whatever reason, and so we looted them, and I thought I executed them, but apparently they're still alive for whatever reason, and they're hostile and they're not doing anything. We did attack them and eventually kick them out. While I was looting, it was at this point that I remembered that there was a bar on the other side of this wall, and there's really only one way to get over there, and that's to pick up one character with another and then come over here to this wall and then just drop them over the side. They'll fall down, and unfortunately I dropped this character in the wrong spot, so I had to get someone else to come and pick this person up, put them on the right spot and drop them over, and then use her to pick up the other Juggernaut, and then we were able to go into the bar. It turns out that this place was a ninja bar owned by the trade ninjas, which makes sense that it was so difficult to get over here. Here's where things get interesting, because these trade ninjas are actually the TLTW characters from the Take Over the World mod, which means if the player character takes out all the NPCs with TLTW in their name in that area, they can take over that town. So if we take these guys out, then the hub will be ours. So we formed a 4 Juggernaut fire team with some of the strongest Juggernauts in our squad, and we had them shift over and put into place to start our raid. And one thing to note is that there were only 4 trade ninjas in the facility, as well as 1 Denobi faction resident. I had the fire team position themselves next to the lone trade ninja above and begin their attack. They made short work of them. although he was probably one of the more powerful ones in the group. We made sure to pick him up so that way they couldn't come back, and we began our assault downstairs, took out the 2 guards and the bartender, and that was it. That was all 4. Of course, we made sure to loot them because those katanas are pretty badass. We checked to see if there was anything interesting, and for good measure, we took out that Denobi guy just to make sure Denobi knows their place and know who the true rulers of the hub is. These guys were still alive and unconscious, so we couldn't put them in the corpse disposal just yet, so we had to wait them out and knock them back down until they were all dead, and then we could finally put them away inside of the bin. I swear that last guy must have taken forever to die. It really took him a long time, but I'm a very patient person, and we got him in the end. One last look around just to make sure I didn't forget anything, and it was time to get the Juggernauts back over the gate so that we could carry on with the rest of our plan. So the way the mod works is that once the NPCs or the characters with TOTW in their name have been taken out, you have to walk away from the town that you're trying to take over far enough so that it's no longer rendered in your field of view. Now, I didn't really know how far to go, so I got everyone and we just ran to the rebel base, and I had to make sure that we got everyone away far enough for it to de-render, and then I didn't know if that was far enough, so we decided to run to Squin. But on the way there, I checked the map and realized that the hub was mine. I had to check twice. Now, I did realize that somehow the conversion was not complete, so the only way to fix that was to save and reload. And when I came back, officially everything was mine. Every building was owned by the Juggernaut, and our Juggernauts decided they wanted to go take a look around. The first thing they wanted to do was repair a door that apparently had been damaged by someone. And then it looks like some of the NPCs were still here. So this is around the time where I decided, hey, this should be live because there's a lot going on here. The Juggernauts have just taken over the hub, and I am extremely excited to know what's going to happen next with the Juggs. I can't wait for episode 25. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all very much for this little catch-up episode. If you want to see more, stay tuned for episode 25. Make sure you hit that notification bell and subscribe so you can be notified whenever I go live. I want to thank you all very much for joining me, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your night. Have a great one. Peace.